Hi everyone, like the Kelseys here, I'm Janet.
And I'm Phil Kelsey. We're real estate investors who have overcome some major obstacles, including financial loss, job loss, and even some major health obstacles, maybe just like you're experiencing right now.
Whether you're unemployed, ready to start something new, tired of your regular, boring, and draining day job, or looking to build a successful future, we do have some good news for you. You can do this.
We're self-made real estate millionaires, and we've actually done it twice now.
If you're willing to put in the work, a few years from now, you can transform your life from being chained to your draining job to having the freedom to pursue whatever you want.
You know, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is for people who understand that your direct efforts determine your direct financial outcome.
With that said, I want to tell you a little bit about us. When we were young, all the way back in the 90s, we met, fell in love, and got married. I had a salary job and Phil was self-employed. We decided it was time to look for our home. Phil grew up loving water sports and boating, so initially we did look for that lakefront house.
However, what we wanted and what we could afford didn't line up with our lakefront dreams.
Somehow, one of us, and I know for sure it was me, found a HUD foreclosure list.
So instead of that beautiful lake view that we were looking for, we bought a killer deal on a duplex with a really good floor plan.
At that time, interest rates were right around an exorbitantly high 10%. For those of you who don't know, that's very bad for investors.
But that just goes to show that smart investing can still be accomplished even when conditions aren't very good. We actually rented out the other side to a nice young family, and essentially we lived in that house payment free. And because we got such a great deal on the duplex, we were actually able to refinance, pull out the equity, and buy another rental property.
Our next purchase was a 2-bedroom house. We rented out the duplex and moved there. We stayed there for a while, and this house was a little further out, but we were flexible. I hated the drive, but we knew we had a very good plan.
As things progressed, our next house was closer to town and a bit larger, but more importantly, our momentum was picking up, and we realized our potential as real estate investors. Getting the keys to that first house was a very rewarding moment for both of us.
We had already reached a pivoting point because of our smart real estate decisions, which allowed us to buy homes for cash. This is where you can find the real deals.
And we used this strategy over and over. Before we knew it, we had 29 homes in our portfolio. 29 homes. I mean, we practically owned our own community.
We had more money than we had ever seen. At one point, our net worth had increased over $850,000 in just over a year.
And as my daughter would say, we were legit. Speaking of our kids, this was the time when Jan and I started our family. But because we had chosen to be our own bosses to that point, we also got to decide our own schedules.
We chose to work from home and enjoyed watching our young kids' milestones rather than hearing about them after daycare. I got the best of both worlds, being a stay-at-home mom and having a successful career managing our real estate. This was everything we wanted originally when we first looked for that lakefront house, just a few years before. But
then everything changed. In 2008, we were deep in the throes of what is now known as the Great Recession. The banking crisis hit, property values fell, and so did our ability to collect rents.
We had made some other investments that performed very poorly. We had severe setbacks during the Great Recession.
But we refused to accept defeat. We picked ourselves up and evaluated our situation. We had to keep moving forward for our kids. But using the same strategies, we began again learning from our past mistakes, and we bought house after house after house, and soon enough our real estate portfolio had expanded and our income had grown tremendously.
This really speaks to the strength of learning how to invest correctly and how you can recover from setbacks. You can recover from setbacks.
And you know, because of the present crisis in the world, perhaps now more than ever is the perfect time to adapt and embark on something new, such as real estate.
Your past doesn't need to define you. You can begin to carve out a new financial future. Even if you don't have anything, you can begin exactly where you are at.
In our next few videos and in this series, we will begin sharing with you in more detail just how to get started. It is possible, even in unfavorable circumstances such as this today, to be successful. We paid, remember, a whopping 10% interest in the 90s for a loan on our duplex, which actually became one of our best investments. More importantly, we didn't give up on ourselves, and we came back from the Great Recession. You can too.
We know you can, because we are just like you. Please join us on this adventure by subscribing to our channel. Please be sure to like this video and turn on our post notifications so you never miss out on valuable information. If you know anybody who can benefit from this, please let them know too. This can change your life. See you guys soon.